Hindsight, and the other one is the One Voice Children's Choir. So a lot we'll be discussing this afternoon on Community Comment. It is my pleasure to welcome into the conversation our guest during here this first segment of the program today, Managing Director with the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater, David Allen Smith. David, thank you so much for coming into the studio today.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
Yeah, this is an exciting time for the theater, because just recently you guys announced your 60th season, which is truly remarkable for really a local group who's been putting on local shows and programming for this long. You've only been around for a couple years, but you've been familiar with the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. But just start off speaking to how incredible it is that they've been around for this long.
Well, it's not something that's common. Most community theater ventures start out with high hopes, but they don't survive economic realities. The really great thing about Beaver Dam is that this area really supports the arts, not just BDACT, but all of the arts programs, the high school and Whalen Academy and other places, Dodge County Arts, all of the things that happen, the Seipel Center. There's so many, and people just really, really back those. And so the group that started BDACT back in the 1960s, 1964, had high hopes. There's a few of those folks still around and still involved, and when I talk to them about it, they're amazed that 60 years later we're still here and going strong. And I was involved in, I think, the 9th season and the 10th season back there in the early 70s. Then I went off to high school and college and did my career, and now I'm back here for this. This is great. Turning 60 years old, that's an accomplishment for community theater.
Yeah, it's an accomplishment for anyone, even humans.
Yes, yes.
So we have a lot to get to, because there's a lot of things happening throughout the course of 2024. So we don't want to make sure we hit every single one of those. And starting here in April, is the first main stage show, and it's called A Brand New Life.
Yes, that is a world premiere of a brand new musical by Laurie Brooks. That's going to be in April. It's a Dust Bowl musical. It's a story about the people who were kind of duped by the government into getting really cheap land in Oklahoma back in the 1930s. And they went out there, and they knew nothing about farming, and they cut the trees down, and the wind came, and the dust made it all the way to Washington, D.C. It was so bad, and a lot of people really struggled through that, and at the end they came out, survived on top, and were stronger for it. And so Brand New Life is kind of an interesting play on words. They went for a brand new life, and then they had to try to find a brand new life after that, which they did. It's very hopeful. It's got a lot of great Americana music in it. We just announced auditions for that in January, so yeah, we're looking forward to that. That's going to be exciting.
Great. So that runs from April 5th through the 14th.
Yes.
What led to the BDACT looking at A Brand New Life, a Dust Bowl musical, as an option that they wanted to perform in 2024?
Well, one of the things we do at BDACT is we take suggestions from the public. So people come to us, and we have a system in place for proposing a show. You sit down with staff, with myself and with Kim, the production manager, and we go through budgets and help answer some questions people might have. It's easy to walk in the door and say, hey, I want to direct this show. But there's realities involved. So we help with that. They pitch it to the selection committee. The selection committee meets, and they discuss it. And this show was presented to us by Diane Lutz, who has worked with Laurie Brooks before, the author, and knows her. And this was new, and she said, I think we should give this a try. So she did a pitch for the selection committee and played some of the music, and it was very exciting. And so it was selected by the committee eventually, and it's going to lead off our main stage series next year.
Fantastic. Now, there's no dust being thrown out into the audience.
No, we won't throw dust around up there. But.
Great. Again, A Brand New Life, a Dust Bowl musical, runs from April 5th through the 14th, and then after that, it's a real popular musical. I'm sure a lot of people, especially Disney fans, are familiar with, and that is Anastasia, and that hits the stage in June.
Yes, that is our area high school musical. So everyone in the cast is a high school student, and if you've seen the last few years of those productions, they are just off the charts. It's amazing to see that many people on the stage doing big choreographed numbers and singing all those vocal parts, and the kids are full of so much energy and exuberance, and those shows are just a blast. I know some people think that only mom, dad, and the grandparents come to see those shows. I have news for you. we sell a tremendous amount of tickets, and I can promise you those people do not have a student on the stage. So it's great.
Yeah, Mark Lefebvre does a wonderful job putting that program together, and we had him on a couple of 1 or 2 months ago previewing their All Shook Up show.
Yes.
Anybody you talk to who went to go see that, they absolutely loved
Oh,
that
yeah,
show.
and some of those same students will be in, but we do, the area high school musical brings in kids from a whole bunch of area schools. I think 8 or 9 schools we had last year, maybe more if I'm wrong on that. But so it's neat because usually your other high schools are your rival. Here they're your fellow cast members. So they all get to work together, and I love anything that involves collaboration. So yeah, that's I'm looking forward to that.
Right. Again, Anastasia runs from June 20th through the 30th this next year in 2024. And then after that is another real popular one, maybe with the younger audiences as well. It's the Seussical, and that hits the stage in August.
Yes, that is, we're doing the full version. We're kind of making a return to our roots here. It's very difficult to cast a big main stage musical that has multi-generational casts involved. So usually it's an adult show or it's a kid's show, but you can probably name on one hand the shows that have lots of kids, lots of young people, and lots of seniors. There just aren't many. This will. I mean, you'll see families in Seussical that are actual families, multi-generational families, and that's always really fun to do that. Some people, I think, here a few years back saw a smaller version of it, like Seussical Junior or something. But this is like got 45 minutes more of material and songs. So it's a full-length musical, and we're pulling out all the stops. We're going to make it really fun. Just the set. I've looked at the set design, and I'm already loving it.
I think that's one thing with Dr. Seuss, even the books, any sort of material involved with him it's just elaborate and eye-popping, and it's really gives itself really well for on-stage performance and musicals, that you have this incredible set design and pieces, and that's something that people, I'm sure, will enjoy when they go watch this one.
I'm sure they're going to have a good time. That's the third in our main stage series.
Fantastic. That's directed by Ryan Klug. He will be helming that one. Again, that's Seussical, running from August 2nd through the 11th at the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. And then a couple months after that, in October, we have Lumberjacks in Love.
You're probably familiar, if you're in Wisconsin, you've been here for any time at all, with plays like Cheeseheads or Guys on Ice or any of those very Wisconsin-based musical comedies. This is one of those, Lumberjacks in Love, and it's very funny, it's very Wisconsin, and it's clean enough for the whole family, because when they get upset, they say things like, golly gee willikers, and, oh, for criminy, weird Wisconsin things, which is funny, and the songs are great, and it's just a lot of laughs. Very, very homespun humor.
Right. Now, this is another one making its debut here, or
no,
has it been done before?
It's been done before. I think it performed in Madison in probably, I'm thinking, 2003. Other than that, it's been up north. It's been in Green Bay, Milwaukee. It's been around.
So it's been, people have heard of it. They've seen it before.
It's been around for a couple decades. Yeah.
Great, fantastic. This is the first time that the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater will be able to sink their teeth into this material and get up on stage.
Yes, and Ronnie Harper is directing this one. She actually did the choreography for a version of the show some years back. So when it came time to think about pitching a show for fall, she said, "Oh, I know a show I'd love to do. I was involved with it before. It's very funny." So there we go.
Great. That's that's Lumberjacks in Love, hitting the stage October 18th through the 27th, and then getting into the shows after that, we have, or essentially it's a couple of opportunities throughout the year to listen to the One Voice children's chorus. We'll also be talking about that a little bit later here on our program this afternoon. But One Voice, there's a couple opportunities for the public to be able to watch and listen and enjoy the wonderful music being put on by the kids.
Yes, we're going to talk right now about some of our children's shows that have casts of young people. And March, October, and December are the months in 2024 when you can catch the One Voice children's chorus. Again, a lot of people come to that show that do not have a kid on that stage because they're just so fun to listen to. They're so enthusiastic, and They have so much fun with music, and I love to see that. They build confidence. And what's the number one fear of people in America, adults, standing in front of a group? Yeah, well, they're getting over that. So that'll help them out later in life. So they're up there singing and having a good time, and Judy Heffron directs that, and she just does a wonderful job.
Yeah, earlier the better. You can get up on stage and get those nerves over. It's all for the better. Again, that's children's performances here. The One Voice BDACT Children's Course, March 10th, November 3rd, and December 15th. And I'm sure there'll be promotional materials reminding people, hey, tickets are on sale. Head to our website or Ticket Booth to come and get tickets for the show.
You can always go to BDACT.org. If I can speak properly this morning. You can always go there, bdact.org, or go to our box office. We're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 to 4, or call 920-885-6891. You can ask questions, and we'll tell you what's coming up. Our social media, our website page, our Facebook page, we always update things when there's auditions or tickets become available, so you can know. I would just suggest with this many great shows for next year that you just kind of check in every day and see what's new, see what's available for sale.
Yeah, a little star on top of your browser. Just click that star for the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater website. Favorite the page and be sure to check that out every day so you can don't miss out on any opportunities to watch these amazing shows. Speaking about amazing shows, another one here involving the youth drama class, and that is a mixed up fairy tale that's coming here in this spring.
Yes, it is. We have 2 children's acting classes now. This is the elementary aged group. They're called Class Act. I like that name. They are a class act. And so, they'll be doing their production of a mixed up fairy tale in March, on March 30th. It's fun to see after they've spent an entire year learning acting technique and doing acting theater games and things that help, exercises that help them with their presence and their voice production and get rid of the jitters and all of that stuff. It's neat to see them do a show. So that's what's coming up on that day.
Again, that's March 30th, a mixed up fairy tale. Now, we don't want to spoil the plot and reveal characters and all that stuff, but essentially, is that kind of a mix of different fairy tales?
You'll recognize the characters, and it's just a different setting, a different plot than what you're used to. But it is mixed up, but it's fairy tale, so you get that idea.
Fantastic. Again, a mixed up fairy tale, March 30th at the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. And then the classic Telltale performances. Love the Telltale shows and the work that the kids put on there. And it's another Disney classic this year, and it's Finding Nemo.
Yeah, Finding Nemo Jr. It's going to be wonderful. We're going big. We tend to do a lot of interesting plays you may never have heard of, but they're fun, and the kids like them, and it's inexpensive to do. And Andy Estervig teaches these classes and directs these shows, and he suggested this year, he said, it's the 60th year, let's go big. So Finding Nemo Jr. is what landed on his desk, and he said, I want to do this. So you'll know the characters, Nemo and Dory, and it's just fun. It's just a fun show.
Fantastic. Again, the Telltale, Finding Nemo, that runs through from July 11th through the 13th here this coming summer. And another classic tale from not too long ago, a while ago, but Grease is coming to the theater as well.
We're very excited about this one because the original creators of Grease, the movie, the play that most people have seen, created a school version, a middle school appropriate version. So they took out the things that immediately might come to mind when you think of Grease that might be a bit offensive for kids that age, and that's not in the script. It's just really about fun with your friends, but you'll get to hear all the songs from the movie and the poodle skirts and the leather jackets and the grease lightning, and it's a wonderful show, and the junior high kids are just going to eat it up. I think we're going to have a really big turnout in auditions for that. So, come have some fun with that show.
Great. That show, Grease, runs from July 18th through the 20th. And we also have some shows and performances next year for the music lovers. And one that we've had an opportunity to talk about here on this program not too long ago, and that is the BDACT Fire and Ice series. One's coming up here in next month, and then another after that.
Yes, we do that in conjunction with the Hurricane Phoenix Project. They love to bring local musicians to the stage. Some of these people you may have heard in a bar somewhere where it was loud and crowded and noisy. Here in the theater, we have state-of-the-art sound, concert lighting, and the bands get to perform, and you actually get to listen to them and hear them. So we have one coming up January 13th and one coming up February 17th. Those concerts are inexpensive. They're $20. We do have a full bar open and concession, so come on in, have a nice, comfortable seat on a cold January or February day and take in one of these local bands. They're wonderful.
Can we talk a little bit, maybe just a minute or two, about each band that's performing on the January date and February date?
Don't know I have that exact information in
Well,
front of me. You might have it there.
So one of the bands on the January 13th date is the Midnight Purchase.
Midnight Purchase.
They're January 13th, and then February 17th is Old Soul Society. Are they rock kind of? What's the?
They are. Some of them are. The bands are usually rock or Americana folk. It's guitars, sometimes a fiddle, some percussion, usually really great vocals. And a keyboard, and they're local bands that are really up and coming. And some of these bands go on to get recording contracts and do tours all over the country. So it's neat to catch them now when they're just local for the time being. But I've seen four of these concerts, and all of them I was like, wow, here's a band I'd never heard of. I just wasn't in the right bar at the right time, I guess. So,
Yeah.
But you can come here and hear them, and they're really great.
Great. Again, January 13th and February 17th for the Fire and Ice concert series. And another performance that's happening twice next year. And this is another group that we had on not too long ago with Kim and Todd Halverson with the Paddle City Big Band.
Yes, a jazz band, a big band. A lot of the people in this band are actually band teachers, and they play, the trombone, the saxophone, the trumpet, and that band, I hear them rehearsing, and I just want to stop what I'm doing and just listen. They're so good, and they're full of energy, and they do standards and classics you'd expect from jazz, stuff from the 40s or 50s. But they also do modern songs set in a jazz style. So they'll be playing a song, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Steely Dan, or wow, that's an Eagles tune, or whatever it is. And it's wonderful. They're so professional, and if you haven't seen them yet, you're missing out. We're really blessed to have them in our building. They perform twice a year, spring and fall. I think next year it's April and November. So, yeah.
April 28th, November 24th are the two dates for the Paddle City Big Band performances. And Kim and Todd are both very passionate about this band.
They're wonderful people to work with.
They are very passionate. They love what they're doing, and it really seems that it's grown because it's a relatively new-ish
started
initiative.
last year.
Yeah. So it's great to see how much it's grown since then.
And they're very talented.
Again, the Paddle City Big Band that they're performing April 28th and November 24th in 2024. And also we have some ABBA fans have an opportunity to listen to some of their music here in 2024 as well.
This is ABBA Mania. This is a North American touring band that's been around for a while. They are very authentic. They do all the ABBA classics. They dress like ABBA. Their stage show looks like an ABBA concert. And this group usually performs in very large arenas, places that have, 1,000, 1,500 seat theaters. I think they're at the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee upcoming, and they are going to be in Green Bay. They're going to be in Eau Claire. These are bigger arenas. We got them here because of a very generous donor who agreed to sponsor the show and help offset the cost. So otherwise, we couldn't get a band like this here. So it's a rare opportunity. I am sure it'll sell out fast. Tickets aren't available yet, but when they are, they are so authentic. You can go online and look at their videos, ABBA Mania, and Just look them up. They're so good, and I'm really excited about this coming here.
Fantastic. That show is happening May 9th, and like David mentioned, get to the web as soon as possible. I'm sure you'll announce online when tickets go on
That's
sale.
just a couple days before Mother's Day, so it might be a great Mother's Day present if your mother likes ABBA music to bring her to the concert.
Well, if you're in the need for shopping gift ideas, there you go. David just provided a great one for you for those moms out there for Mother's Day. Again, May 9th, ABBA Mania coming to the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. And in September, there is Four Guys in Dinner Jackets will be performing.
They're a group from Milwaukee. They've been around for quite a while. They do doo-wop music, 50s, 60s, 70s. It's Frankie Valli type music and the Four Seasons, that kind of stuff. Lots of humor and comedy, but they're really talented. They have a great band behind them, and then the Four Guys in the Dinner Jackets singing and doing all the choreography like you'd remember from the time period. So, yeah, they're phenomenal. We're lucky to have them this year.
Great. That will be, again, September 7th for Four Guys in Dinner Jackets. And then on November 16th, there are the Dueling Pianos.
Yeah, they've become an annual favorite. They're here every year in November. The concerts always sell out. They're so fun. If you haven't been to this one, get to it. If you haven't been to a dueling piano event, what they do is they get two people on the stage that are amazing pianists, and they start playing and they sing songs, and they can sing anything: a commercial jingle from the 70s, a modern song, a Madonna classic, Michael Jackson. They can do hard rock or rap or country, and they do them all. And so people can suggest and make suggestions from the audience, and everybody in the audience has got a beer in their hand, and they're singing along because it's all songs you know, and that's a really fun night.
Great. Again, that is happening November 16th. And jumping in a little bit earlier in the year, in February, there is a special fundraiser happening.
Yes, we're doing our first, hopefully annual, casino fundraiser. So we'll have casino games. You can come and, make a donation. It's fundraising for BDACT, and play some of your favorite card games. And at the end, when you win, you cash your chips in for raffle tickets, and we have raffle baskets from lots of vendors in the city, and there'll be all the different businesses will have baskets, so you can bid on things, and then people win things. At the same time, we're going to have an Elvis impersonator. He will be in the main stage theater downstairs, and so after he's done with his concert down there, if you want to see that and then come up to the casino on the second floor, you can. There's a separate price for his event and a separate price for the casino, but they're both very affordable. And then at the end of the night, I think Elvis is going to walk around the casino with us and take pictures and stuff. So it'll just be a whole lot of fun, and we're just hoping to raise some money for BDACT.
Great, fantastic. And some other special events happening in 2024. In March is an improv comedy show.
Yes, Mission Improvable. Yes, we're starting our own improv troupe. So that was just cast. They had their first cast meeting on Friday, and they're a fun group and very funny. And so they'll be working on improv games and honing their skills, so that when you come see the show, they always take suggestions from the audience. You can throw them a loop, throw them for a loop with something strange. And then they'll make sketches and things out of it. If you've ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway, it's that kind of thing.
Yep, all those shows.
And what we're doing with this particular show, Kevin Lubke is directing this. He wanted to do the Friday and Saturday night shows basically for adults, nothing too risque, but they're adult shows. They're really not kid-oriented, but the Sunday matinee is totally kid-oriented. They're only going to take suggestions from children in the audience. So that will be fun, watching those adults when the children yell out, you name a singer, and the kids shout out a name, and these adults have no idea who that is. They're going to have to Google it quickly. And then they're going to perform and really involve the children. Children don't usually get to see improv. It tends to be more adult-oriented. But this time around, on that Sunday matinee, you can bring your whole family and have a lot of fun.
Great. Again, that's March 1st through the 3rd for Mission Improbable at the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. And then, at least according to my list, we're running up here on the last event here taking place at the theater in 2024. And that's one of my favorite things to be a part of, is Murder Mystery Dinner Theater.
Yes, the show this year is called Murder Me Always. Last year in September, we had our this couple months ago. We had our first ever Murder Mystery Dinner Theater. It sold out, went well. We even added a show, and that sold out. We're going to do it again next September. They're always fun. The audience gets to sit at their tables and try to figure out who done it, and that's a good time.
Fantastic. That is September 18th through the 22nd, and get your tickets early because, as David said, those shows last year those sold out really fast. So you don't want to miss out on those events this coming year. So we ran through quite a few events and activities happening for the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater's 60th season. Maybe one last question for you, David, and that's maybe a call for volunteers and getting people to come out and help and support all these things that you guys are doing.
Yeah, Beaver Dam Area Community Theater used to be an organization that did a couple, 2, 3 plays a year. And we need volunteers always. We need ushers, we need people in concession stands, we need people to paint scenery and people to help with costumes and props. That hasn't changed. We're not a professional organization. We're still a volunteer, community-driven organization. But now we have this new fine arts center, which the city, the citizens of the area built for us. They contributed the money and built this amazing thing. We have to keep it busy and open. So hence, it's not 3 plays anymore. It's all these activities. But with that comes, we need more volunteers. We always need people to help. If you've never painted scenery, volunteer to come paint scenery. We'll teach you how. It's actually quite fun. And come serve concessions or be an usher. None of it's difficult. We would just love to have you involved. So lots of opportunities to volunteer or to see a show. And I will mention, if you buy the package of the 4 main stage shows, there's a 20% discount. So that's a really good thing to do.
A good incentive to get your tickets and support all the shows that are happening at the theater. And again, all the stuff that we covered here on Community Comment is available on the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater websites, on their Facebook pages. Is there a number that people can call to for the box office?
920-885-6891. The box office is open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 4 if you want to come in person, or go to the website, bdact.org, and all the information is updated quite frequently there.
Fantastic. So a lot of exciting and fun things to look forward to happening at the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater in 2024. But I want to thank my guest here in this first segment of Community Comment, Managing Director at the theater, David Allen Smith. Thank you so much for coming in today.
You bet. Always a pleasure. Thanks.
And in our second segment here on Community Comment, we'll be joined with Judy Hahn, David Cook, and Kay. We'll be talking about In Hindsight. That's coming up here this weekend, I believe, as well as the One Voice Children's Chorus Holiday Show. So a lot more to Community Comment. We'll be back after the break.
Beaver Dam Area Community Theater proudly presents our 60th anniversary season, featuring main stage productions of the world premiere musical Brand New Life, Anastasia the Musical, Seussical, and Lumberjacks in Love. Student performances of One Voice, a mixed-up fairy tale, Finding Nemo Kids, and Grease School Version. Music from our Fire and Ice concert series, Abomania, Paddle City Big Band, and Four Guys in Dinner Jackets. And special events including Vegas Night, Improv, Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, and more. Theater for everyone. bdact.org. Beaver Dam Area Community Theater proudly presents our 60th anniversary season, featuring main stage productions of the world premiere musical Brand New Life, Anastasia the Musical, Seussical, and Lumberjacks in Love. Student performances of One Voice, a mixed-up fairy tale, Finding Nemo Kids, and Grease School version. Music from our Fire and Ice concert series, Abomania, Paddle City Big Band, and Four Guys in Dinner Jackets. And special events including Vegas Night, Improv, Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, and more. Theater for everyone. BDACT.org.
112 on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. This is Community Comment. I'm your host, Kevin Haugen. In our first segment, we had the opportunity to chat with Managing Director at the theater, David Allen Smith, previewing all the wonderful shows and exciting events happening at the theater in their 60th season in 2024. But it's my pleasure to welcome into the program here during our second segment of Community Comment this afternoon. Sitting to my right is Judy Hahn. To her right is Kay Paczynski, and then to her right is David Cook, and then to his right is Judy Heffron. Thank you all so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so a couple of returning faces here from Community Comment not too long ago to discuss a show that is coming up this weekend. In Hindsight, It's About Time, that runs from December 7th through the 9th. And Judy, you're the director, you're in charge, and how are things here leading up to show this weekend?
I could not be happier with the progress of this show. Everyone has been so dedicated and willing to jump in and just do anything that, needs to be done for the good of the show, and everyone's well prepared. I'm just thrilled. It's going very, very, very well.
Great, fantastic. Again, the Thursday, December 7th show starts at 7:30. Friday is also at 7:30. Saturday is at 2 p.m. Tickets are $20. There are still some open spots available for people to get tickets if they want.
Yes, Friday and Saturday especially are selling out a little faster than opening night, and there are still tickets left, but I wouldn't wait. I mean, I check every 20 minutes. I have to admit that I do. And all of a sudden there are 50 more seats sold within 20 minutes for the three shows. Right. And then, okay, I'll wait a day. Well, I can't. So then I wait till right before I go to bed, and another 20 are sold. And so it's going quickly. And tickets are for sale at the door if there are any left. So I wouldn't wait.
Now, the theme this year, as I mentioned, is about time. Mm-hmm. And obviously, we don't want to spoil too much and give the folks listening and watching. Again, we are streaming at Daily Dodge TV, so you can head to our website and see my guests' beautiful faces, but you don't have to go on to see my face. You do not want to do that. But Judy, speak to what the inspiration was for the theme this year for It's About Time, and kind of how that plays a role into the show.
I guess I was just thinking about general, or rather than more specific, but just general themes. And I don't know, I just paid attention all of a sudden, and I kept hearing the word time in conversation. And I thought, I'm sure there are a lot of songs out there about time, and I know there are a lot of sayings and euphemisms that have to do with time. So it just kind of jumped out at me. And there were a couple skits that I knew I wanted to do. Since our last show in 2019, there were a couple things that I just knew I wanted to do, and both of them happened to be focused on the word time. So it just kind of led itself into that. So there are lots of references to the word time in this show.
Great, fantastic. Yeah. Now, David, you were with us a couple weeks ago here on Community Comment. Now, your involvement was with the music side, correct, for In Hindsight?
Yep, correct.
And so how is things progressed since we last chatted? Everything ready to go and set up for this weekend show?
Yep, everything's gelled together.
Great.
Like Judy said, we have this wonderful cast of people that work really, really hard and are extremely talented. So putting it all together really isn't difficult when you have the talent that we do to work with. And now it's just fine tuning a little bit here and there and making sure that we're all together. But last week's rehearsals went really, really well, and we're looking forward to a rehearsal tonight and tomorrow night to finish it up.
Great. So those are the last two rehearsals for the show, is tonight and tomorrow. So
Yep.
great.
Yep. And like David said, there are just few things. So I was paying attention a little bit to the rehearsals last week, and I sent an email to the cast with just a few minor details, and it was quite lengthy, but it's details like, when you raise your left arm, could you put it 2 inches higher or something like that? So I said, when we're that detailed and that's all that's left, that's when you know it's a good show. Yeah.
Great. Now, Kay, are you in hindsight, or are you with One Voice?
No, I'm in
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure.
I'm
No.
not a talent. I wish I was. Only through fifth grade. Yes, I'm in hindsight. I have been in all of Judy's shows. This is your fourth show. And known Judy since high school, but we've sung together for probably 45 years. So I am part of her dream team, she calls us, which is nice to be called that.
Because it is.
No, again, we don't want to get into really the specifics of characters and what the skits are going to be. But Kay, is there anything that stood out to you this year over any other years, maybe during the rehearsals, that you're excited for people to come and check out when the show starts?
I guess there is one skit that does entail more people than just 2 or 3. And it's the non-musical skit, which is unusual for Judy. But it's very cute and funny, and that's really fun to be part of, and I think it'll be fun to watch.
Great. Fantastic. Now, David, are you in any skits yourself as well?
Yeah, I kind of wear a number of different hats for this show. I play piano, so the primary thing is me sitting on the bench playing piano, but I'm also singing in a couple things and doing a couple skit type things too.
Great, fantastic. Now, Judy, I'm also assuming David is on that list of the people that make this show happen and the dream team, so to speak. And you couldn't put on this show without all those people.
No, and he's always my number one. I'm sorry, everybody else in the cast, but the first person I ask if I get the idea or get the bug is David. Can you do this? Will you do this? Are you available at this weekend? And then we work from there. But I need him to be my music director. He has been for every show, and extremely gifted and talented, and I'm thrilled to have him on board.
Great. Now, last time we had the opportunity to chat with the folks with In Hindsight, I remember really honing in on focusing on kind of the theme of it being just good old-fashioned fun. Like, if you want to kind of forget your troubles for a couple hours one evening, then head down to the theater and watch this show. And would that be true? And I throw that out to anyone here who would like to answer that.
Yes, that is very true. It's just a good time. There's nothing heavy about it. There's nothing politically motivated about it. It's just to have a nice time, and we are all having a nice time. So I think that shows that the audience appreciates that and gets that feeling from us as well.
Yeah, I would say nostalgia is probably the number one word that comes to mind. And people say, what should I expect? I said, expect to smile, laugh, have fun, and just feel good. It's just a feel-good show. It's family-friendly, and it's just, like Kay said, it's just fun. It's even fun for us to be up there. It's never really been a chore. So it's just a joy to do.
I think it's, you could say when the cast is having the fun that they're having, then I think you know that you have something really magical and something the audiences will enjoy deeply when they have the opportunity to come up and watch it as well.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So we have dancing, singing, skits. We have comedy, a stand-up comedy. We have a lot of returning skits, recurring themes. I equate it to the Carol Burnett show, not that we have Tim Conway or Harvey Korman in the cast, but it's that format, where she kept coming back to, she had the As the Stomach Turns, and so she would have that every single episode, and that's kind of what this is for me. We have recurring acts, but totally different themes, so it's going to be very fun.
Now, Judy, as somebody who really puts in the amount of work you put in to get this show to fruition every year, and the amount of writing and acting, practicing, rehearsals, music involvement. What is this final week like for you leading up to show? And I know that I'm sure there's probably a million things that are racing through your mind come Thursday, but just kind of seeing the culmination of all that effort and practice coming together and seeing the show, what is that like for you?
Honestly, everyone asks, are you nervous? And I have to say, I know no one's going to believe this, but I'm not. I am not nervous about it at all, because I just trust this dream team. I call them that because it is a dream to have these people working on this show. Cast and crew. I could not be happier or less anxious. I'm excited. We'll see how tonight and tomorrow night goes. We always have a few little things we have to tweak, and my cast and crew are like, really, you're going to change that too? And I only change it a little bit. I promise I'm not going to do that too much anymore, but I am just beyond excited, and now I'm ready to just present this to everybody.
Right. Now, David, somebody who is also very involved in the process of getting this show to completion, what are your words for the people in the community who have nothing to do Thursday, Friday, or Saturday? What's your recommendation to head out to the theater and watch In Hindsight?
I think I've said this before, but if you just want to have a good time and want a night out with your spouse or your family, just come to the show. If you want to see something fun, we have multiple people have said to me, when are you going to do another one? And because we want to know, please let us know when you do another one. And people have said to me this time around, oh, we got our tickets because we really enjoyed the last one. And that just says it all. You know, if people want to come back, it's something for people to come see.
Right. Okay, there's been a lot of words spoken about why people should show up, kind of what makes this show special, but see if you have I put you on the spot here, see if there's a different angle you could take, and what makes it special for you, or just somebody who's involved, and just why is it so much fun to be a part of or even watch In Hindsight?
I guess for me, I'm not involved in the community theater right now a lot. My life changed drastically about 10 years ago, and so I choose not to have that much activity with it. But when Judy asks you to be in her show, and you've done all of them before, it's very hard to say no. But I don't want to either. I don't do as much as I probably did once as far as being number of acts I'm in, but it's just an honor and a pleasure to be with these people that are doing the show with me. So that's a big part of it.
Great. Now, are there any people that we want to give a shout out to or recognize who maybe aren't always involved and their faces aren't up on stage, who are able to put this show on every year?
Yeah, if we have time, I'm going to read my cast.
Go right ahead.
So most of these people are returning. I have three new cast members this year. But otherwise, I'll just mention my Dream Team cast: Pat Coe, Lisa Killingsworth, Laura Nelson-Furtick, Teresa Plock, who happens to also have a Christmas concert, music concert at her school this week, so she's going to be busy. She's a music teacher in the district, so she's going to be extra busy this week. Beth Ratajczyk, who is new to my show this year, she's a former student. Kay Paczynski, Mary Kolstead-Miller, Nancy Coolibert, Vicki Fromey, Julie Sether, Kim Doyle and Dan Doyle, David Allen Smith. We're doing a very special skit, very heartwarming skit, David and I are. Rick Ramirez, David Cook, Tom Castillo, Dave Bowman, Jim McMillan, and Mark Wagner. And then my Dream Team crew, I have co-producers and co-house managers Connie Rogers and Jean Pillsbury. Musicians, David Cook on piano, David Suniter is on drums, and Austin White is on bass, and he's also doing sound engineering. My stage managers are Diane Rabale and Jen DeMaselli, and they have everything running smoothly back there with all the props. We also have August Shire, who is helping out with sound. Lighting designer and operator is Tommy Schultz. Mary Kolstead-Miller is decorating the set and designed my initial logo. And she also did something very special in this show. You'll have to come to see what that is. Her husband, Phil, built a beautiful balcony for us and a drum platform. David Allen Smith and Kay are doing painting. And then Laura Congdon is on our staff at Community Theater, and she's done the playbill, the posters, and she's a graphic designer. And then our show photographer is Andy Martin, who has done an amazing job of capturing just the whole feel of the show by coming to rehearsals. So,
Fantastic. And before we move on to talk about the other performance coming up this weekend here on our program, what are the information, date times, where to go to get tickets that our listeners need to know?
I'll mention the show sponsors first,
Okay,
and then
yes.
I'll let you guys take care of that part. So I want to thank so deeply Chris Klodowski at Klodowski Real Estate for being a show sponsor, Jim and Jimmy at Chapel of the Archangels, Riverfront Wine Bar, and Ann, Cody, and Julie at Barber Ann's. Thank you all.
Our show will be on stage this Thursday and Friday. That's December 7th and 8th at 7:30 p.m. and Saturday, December 9th at 2 p.m. All seats are reserved and are $20. Tickets are available at bdact.org, or there are open hours at the theater, I believe, that you can get them, or at the door if there are some left.
The box office at the theater is open at 117 West Maple Avenue, is open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Great, fantastic. So just one of the two shows here happening this upcoming weekend that folks out here can set aside some time to come out and take a listen and watch. The other one is, here I want to bring in the conversation here, Judy Heffron, who is, now you're not in the One Voice choir, you are direct.
Manage them and hopefully try to control it. but
Fantastic.
I'm the director.
Yeah, and for somebody who has maybe never heard of One Voice, who doesn't know what it is, what is One Voice?
One Voice is the Beaver Dam area children's chorus, and I say area because we do have a girl who comes over from Waupun and another little girl who comes over from Columbus, so it isn't just Beaver Dam kids, but they're in grades 3 through 5, and we meet every Sunday evening from 5 to 6, which is, I thought, going to be a difficult time, but they show up on a regular basis and they're ready to go. So
How many kids in total do you have?
this year I have 24. So it's a nice group. We can get a really nice sound, especially when we decide to do like a little bit of two-part, so then I have enough kids for that. So it's a really nice group. Quite a few third graders. I think there's 9 third graders. So those are brand new singers for the group.
Okay.
So it's been interesting.
Good. Now, Judy, how long have you been involved with One Voice and directing it or in any capacity?
I'm trying to think when we actually did start it. I should go back and check. Darby Hintz actually started it with me. We were both music teachers here in Beaver Dam School District. And I had often thought about it, even when I was teaching, that it would be nice to have a community group because we have kids from St. Catherine Drexel, we have a couple kids from St. Stephen's, we have a couple homeschool kids, so it's just a nice mix of kids. So even though, a lot of them are also involved in their school chorus, this just kind of gives them a different opportunity to sing, to be on stage a little bit more, because with the school concert, even when I did it, we were maybe one big concert a year. Well, now these kids are on stage 3 times a year, so it puts them up there. I think that's good for them. It helps them build a little confidence, and although I don't know, some of them might have too much.
Now, one interesting thing you did mention is that you have 2 kids, one from Columbus, one from Waupun. Is that something that obviously it really depends upon parents' schedules and being able to get get the kids to practice? But is that something that you would like to maybe see expand in the future? Is bringing other kids from around the area, kind of make this more of an area chorus than maybe it is right now?
That would be really, really nice, and I think it's just a matter of being able to get the word out. So marketing did a great job getting information out, and I have had people come up and say, well, how do we join? And it's just like, well, you watch BDACT and sign up. We usually just have the one sign up in the fall. So now we'll have this concert on Sunday, and then we have another one in March, and then that will be the end of our season.
Gotcha.
So that way we don't kind of overlap with the summer productions, because then that's kind of a lot for kids to do.
Yeah, because I'm assuming some kids are also in Telltale and they're big participants in that as well. Yeah, great.
to the next. And that's good for them.
Keeps them busy.
That's
That's
good
good.
for them,
Well, what's the details that our listeners need to know? The times that they need to show up for this Sunday if they want to watch One Voice. What are the times where they go to again to get the tickets and some of the who, what, when, where, and whys?
You can do the same thing to get your tickets ahead of time by going either to, the box office, Tuesday and Thursday, as Judy said, from 10 until 4 it's open. You can buy them at the door. Our seating is general admission, so when you come, you get your ticket and you can sit any place in the theater. We don't have reserved seats for this. And our tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for kids. So we end up being about maybe an hour, 20 minutes. We do take a short intermission because they like to feature a special drink, although we are not alcoholic, except for children.
Important thing to note.
Yes. So we do take a little intermission because the kids do need a break too. They're singing 14 songs, which that's a lot of music to learn and to sing. So they definitely need a break. So do I. So do I.
Well, that was one of the questions I was wanting to ask, and obviously we don't want to, if there's any surprises or anything, we don't want to give away the whole song list, but what are some of the musical numbers that will be performed during One Voice?
Well, when I first thought about the Christmas concert, I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice just to have a concert that would be easy to sing, just bring back the holiday songs that everybody knows. Well, then I started trying out some songs with the kids, and we probably have a couple that people will recognize, but there are quite a few really nice kid-type songs. Surprisingly, they like the song about figgy pudding.
Must be fun to say, I guess.
Yeah, well, last year we did a song about fruitcake, and I hope I didn't, offend anybody by that one. So hopefully we won't offend anybody about figgy pudding if you really like it. So, but we're singing a couple of songs in a different language. So that was one of the goals of the group, was to expose kids to a variety of music, patriotic, traditional, folk, contemporary, and then songs that were also in other languages. So we do have one in Spanish, but we have one this time en français, in French. And I was really impressed with how the kids did with singing in French.
Yeah, that is one thing that is obviously a kind of an unknown sometimes with kids is how will they be able to pick up. It's hard enough to memorize a song in English to sing, but then how did it go teaching them how to sing a song in a different language?
Well, first of all, you better find one that has a really kind of catchy melody, and if they like the song, they pick it up. So it's just kind of fine-tune the pronunciations a little bit, but they picked it up pretty quickly, so
Good.
I was very happy with that one.
That's great.
So, but then we are actually, and I guess it's not really a surprise or anything unusual, but we will have a short sing-along so that the audience can participate and sing along with a couple of the very familiar Christmas songs.
Great. Now, it always seems like this show is a hit, like you meant, like our David Allen Smith mentioned in our first segment that anytime the Telltale performers come up, it's not just grandparents and parents coming to watch. It really brings out a large number of people who come in and support everything that's happening with the kids here in the community and their efforts here in the musics and arts and everything like that.
Well, and kids and Christmas really do go well together, and sometimes they're just standing there, and it's just like, oh, you guys are so cute.
Yes.
But so I said, I think that anyone who would come to this will really like it, just because the kids do such a nice job, and even watching their facial expressions when they sing, they're feeling Christmas. They really are.
Now, is there some sort of uniform that they wear, or they just dress them? That's not something that's a part of.
My chair put there. For this concert, we do get a little bit fancier. They wear white tops, and the boys have to wear a tie, so that's kind of nice. So.
Right, fantastic. Now, you mentioned that there is another show happening, I believe, in March.
Right.
So did those rehearsals start here in a couple weeks after this show, or?
After this concert, we'll take a break until January 14th, and then we'll start up again to get ready for that.
Right.
Concert.
Now, is that open also for anybody out there who wants to get their kid involved, or is that filled up already?
I don't think it's ever really filled up, so I think if they really wanted to give their child a chance to try it, we could let them in because it will be completely different music.
Oh, good. So you mentioned that you have 24 kids as part of the holiday One Voice chorus show coming up this weekend. So that number can go up a little bit if you have some people who want to be you won't ever turn anyone away.
Nope.
Fantastic. And so maybe, again, we don't want to spoil anything, but just what is the type of genre or style that will be performed during the March show of One Voice?
March, I already have it figured out. It's going to be all about traveling with music.
Interesting.
So a lot of songs out there, traveling and places to go. And
Great, fantastic. So I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the spring March show of One Voice here in the coming months to preview that and let our listeners know. And when it comes to auditions and rehearsals and everything, all those dates and times will be, I'm sure, posted online, and parents can know when and where they need to bring their kids to be a part. Fantastic. And Judy, one more time, just let our listeners know where they can go for tickets and what time the show is and where they need to go to get all that.
you can stop at the box office either on Tuesday and Thursday from 10 until 4. You can buy tickets at the door. So buying them ahead of time is always a good idea. There's been kind of a lineup a few times. So, but, we start right away at 2 o'clock. The concert starts. Have a little intermission so you can get a snack and a special holiday beverage, and then finish up with a sing-along and a really nice, hopefully, experience for everybody who comes.
If that's not enough reason to head over to the theater this Sunday to 2 p.m. to watch One Voice, I don't know what is. But again, also this coming weekend, Thursday through Saturday, is In Hindsight. 7:30 is the start time on Thursday, Friday. 2 p.m. on Saturday, December 2nd, or December the 9th. Yes, that was this past weekend. My dates are all screwed up. But again, I want to thank our guests here on our second segment of Community Comment. I'm joined with Judy Hine, director for In Hindsight. We also have Kate Paczynski and David Cook, who are also a part of the program, being in the skits and being part of the music, as well as Judy Heffron, who's directing One Voice, the children's chorus, which is performing this Sunday at the theater. But I want to thank all 4 of you guys for coming in today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
And that will do it for today's Community Comment.
Beaver Dam Area Community Theater proudly presents our 60th anniversary season, featuring main stage productions of the world premiere musical Brand New Life, Anastasia, the musical, Seussical, and Lumberjacks in Love. Student performances of One Voice, a mixed-up fairy tale, Finding Nemo Kids, and Grease School version. Music from our Fire and Ice concert series, Abomania, Paddle City Big Band, and Four Guys in Dinner Jackets. And special events including Vegas Night, Improv, Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, and more. Theater for everyone. BDACT.org.